All right, YouTube. It's Joe, the 50-something Dasher, with another installment of the DoorDash daily recap video. This is the place to be for all things DoorDash, and a lot to unpack in this video today for today's dash. Couple interesting things happen. I got a brand new idea to talk about that I came up with today, and the video wouldn't be complete, I feel, without a Aldi's rant at the end of the video. So definitely stay tuned for that, and I'll go off once again on Aldi's. Um, Overall, a much better day than yesterday. So today was a pretty good day. I only declined one offer today, so I got some pretty decent offers. Still no catering orders or anything huge, and that may be because of my acceptance rate right now. I don't really know. I meant to talk about my January numbers in the last video. I forgot at the end of that video, so I'll make sure to cover that at the very end. And you can see how this month was like an off month for me, and my numbers dropped. And I'll get to that. But start time for the dash this morning, 5:01 in the morning, and um, as far as I know, like tomorrow and all of February, I don't think I'll be able to keep doing that, logging in when I don't think I'll be a top dasher if I'm understanding things correctly. I don't think my lifetime status starts until July. We'll see tomorrow, but tomorrow I schedule myself all this week at 7 a.m. and unless it's busy enough, like I'm not going to be able to jump on whenever I want in the morning. It might not be until 6:30, 6:45. We'll see what happens in the morning, but today, last day, or I could still be top dasher. Logged in at 5:01. Almost right away get my first offer. IHOP, 750, 8 miles. This wasn't a bad offer. Of course, you got to factor in I'm 3 miles away from anything because I'm taking the order from home. So as far as I'm concerned, this was a good offer. So I went ahead and took that. Got to the IHOP. Really no problems with this first order. Here's the pay screen on that. $3.50 from DoorDash, $4 customer tip. So off to a pretty decent start here at 5:27 in the morning. Okay, next we get this is the first kind of like interesting thing here is this McDonald's order. So 675, 4.4 miles. So yeah, absolutely. So I take this and I get to the McDonald's, and so this has happened multiple times in the last few weeks. I'm not really sure what's going on with McDonald's, these really early orders, but once again, I pull in there, and I can see, like, in the instructions, it says use the drive-through. So I see that in my instructions, so I don't even park to try the door. I know the door's locked. Go up to the drive-through, and again, it's a black drive-through screen. And I sit there for just a second or two, and a lady comes on, sorry, we're not open yet. Okay. So I hit my question mark, top right corner, store has an issue, store is closed, take my photo. Here's the pay on that. So 337. Now notice here it says, thanks for submitting your photo. The store will be marked as closed. Okay. So I figure I'll just park there at the McDonald's for at least a few minutes to see if I get anything else. I don't even get from the speaker to the parking spot when I get this. Same place. Another McDonald's order, same location, 625 hidden tip, but they're closed. I already know this. Um, so I'm like, okay, if you want to, I'll keep doing this. I'll just run through the drive through a second time, mark this is closed, take the picture, half pay on that. If you want me to keep circling around and give me these McDonald's orders, I'll do it. It's not my fault that I marked something as closed. They immediately give me something else. I mean that's not any fault. I'm just doing. You give me an order, I'm already there, it's still closed, I mark it as closed. I mean, I'm just following the steps here and getting free money out of it. But I pull around to the speaker again. This time the lady doesn't come on, but I do the same thing. Take a picture, and here's half pay for that one, 312. Okay, let's go. Let's do a third one here. I pull around, I park, but I don't get a third order. That I only got those two, and so the time here is 5:39. I was still sitting there at 5:45. It was 6 minutes after this when I started seeing the cars behind me getting their food from the pickup window. So they opened 6 minutes after this. Um, which I don't know why, like, up until that point, why can't you have the DoorDash ordering system turned off? Or I'm still, I don't know. I don't know if it's a DoorDash issue. It's probably, I would probably guess it's a McDonald's issue, that particular location. And they're just not turning that on and off at the proper times, and that would be my guess. um so then my next order is a 550 1.7 mile Tim Hortons, and I'm right, just like 20 seconds from the Tim Hortons. I take this and I get in there, and I decided to make this the subject of today's video, but I get in there, and the order had a whole bunch of donuts on the order and one or two other items. I don't remember now, but um, they hadn't even started making any donuts for the day. So the lady looked at me. She's like, "Are you?" And when I told her what order I was there for, and she was like, "Yeah, that we haven't even." So I mean, it's going to be several minutes here anyway. The way she was sounding, we're like 20, 30 minutes, something along those lines. And for the very first time ever, I never had this happen before at a restaurant, but for the very first time, she asked me if I was able to drop the order. Would you be able to drop the order and have somebody else get it here a little bit later? And so that I thought that was kind of crazy. So, and I told her, well, I gotta wait at least 10 minutes before I can drop it, penalty free. So I'll just sit here, I'll wait 10 minutes, and I'll drop the order. And then, she was like, all right. So I pull up a chair, I sit down, I'm just kind of like going through things on my phone, and I go to close it out, or unassign, I should say, and I get to this very last step that you come to when you're unassigning without a penalty. So I selected these two choices here on those questions, and went to tap on the confirm unassign, and nothing's happening. I'm sitting there like, I kept tapping that red button, nothing's happening. I tried to click this here, toggle back, and try to do the thing over, and I can't. I can't close out the order and unassign it. It's like this step right here, I'm froze on that step. So I'm like, this is just great. So I go back out to my car. It's a little bit easier to talk to support when I'm in my car. So I call DoorDash support, and long story short, I get nowhere with that phone call. I try to be connected to an agent, but it's like all automated. But in the in the different messages, the computerized, messages I was listening to, amongst the different messages, it did say that there was an issue going on at the moment with unassigning orders over 10 minutes. So there was, and this was like a system wide issue. So it wasn't just me. And all I'm trying to do is get off the order and maybe talk to somebody, or if the system can do it, and then they ask me to describe what I need done or whatever, I say, I can't unassign an order after 10 minutes or whatever. Well, anyway, the system is not recognizing any of my commands. Turn my phone down. Sorry about that. Um, and anyway, long story short, um, it one of the computer says, "Would you like to be connected to Tim Hortons?" And I was like, "No." And then the phone starts ringing, like it goes to connect me to Tim Hortons anyway or something, and the phone rings for like 4 or 5 rings, and then I just get disconnected. So anyway, what I ended up having to do was I went back and I chose, instead of long wait time at the store, I chose another option. I chose order is not here. And then on this screen here, I chose other reason. And then in the description, I typed wait time longer than 10 minutes. And then when I hit the confirm unassign on this screen, it unassigned the order. So so that was, and so I didn't get this closed out until 6:20. So I had like 22 minutes wrapped up in that order. That's just a complete waste of 22 minutes on that. But hey, chalk it up as experience. It was then 7 minutes later. So now that this is like 27 minutes after I get the order, I get this Wendy's order, 375, 9 miles. That was my only decline for the day. Even though I think I might try to pick back up my acceptance rate, but I'm not gonna take things that are just silly, like this. So then another 8 minutes goes by. And so you're talking, and I haven't left that area. So what was that time again where I first got the, okay, so just say 6 o'clock is when I got that first order. So I didn't get another order that I actually did until 6:35, 35 minutes later. So this is this is where I came up with a new idea. I don't know how I didn't think of this before, but I just thought of this because of this situation. And like I've said before, this is why I've always thought I'd be good for the community council, because I come up with stuff like this. But anyway, okay, so my idea, this newest idea to present to DoorDash, is in this type of situation, you go past your 10 minutes and you're now able to unassign an order. Okay, well, had I had the option to do this, if there could be another option where you, at the past the 10-minute mark, you make yourself available for another offer. You stay on the 10-minute order, but make yourself available for a new order, okay? And that, because Dashers already know this, you can get offers while you're at a restaurant waiting to pick up an order. That happens. The system will stack additional orders onto you. Um, but this would be a little bit different. You put yourself in a status after 10 minutes where if another order comes in and I accept that order, then as soon as I accept that order, it drops the 10-minute one. Because what happened here was I waited over 35 minutes before getting this $4 order. And there's a very good chance that first order that I was on, it was a better order. It was $5.50. I think it was, that right? $5.50. Yeah, that was a better order. And had I waited the 35 minutes, that order might have gotten finished, and then I would have just went ahead and took that one. Instead, I dropped it and had an order that I declined and waited and waited, and then before finally getting another order that was worse. So anyway, that's my newest, latest and greatest idea. So I'll, like, when I get a chance, I'll present that to them. And I wonder if you would think I wonder if that's probably been presented to them before. I would imagine somebody's already thought of that idea, or they've considered that. I would imagine, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe I am the first that's ever thought of that. Who knows? But I take this. It's only $4, but it's going to a very familiar drop off. It's going to the daycare. I'm not going to get a bad review or contract violation from them. Now, I've delivered there many times. They're trustworthy people, and so this was an okay order. And then minutes later, I get this $6 9-mile Wendy's. I took it because today I want orders and I want to stay busy. I was kind of tired of the downtime the last couple days. I know also that contract violation, which I'll get to here later in the video, but if I was going to have to do the 100 orders for that to drop off, I need orders here. So that's why I took this. This delivered to a same customer that I delivered to yesterday. So they must have Dash Pass and get DoorDash every day or something. Then I get a little bit scared and nervous for my first Chick-fil-A order since they've reopened this location. It was closed but it had to have been at least like 4 months. It was only supposed to be closed like 2.5 months or so, and the construction went way over. And I've heard that it was, when they reopened it, it was worse than before, like as far as the configuration of the parking lot. And so I was a little bit nervous. So I took this order, and it's worse. So basically, when you go in the entrance, you have to circle around the whole entire building to get into the line for the drive-through, and the inside lane is for ordering at a speaker, and the outside lane is if you've placed a mobile order. And then after the speakers, then the two, or after the drive-through signs or whatever, then after that point, then the two kind of converge into one lane. But I could see where at lunchtime especially, where that would be a problem. And so going forward, if it's in that 11 a.m. to 12:30 range, I'm not even going to attempt to drive into that parking lot. I'm parking in the shopping center behind it and just walking over to it. So I ain't even like playing with that. But it's 7:35 in the morning. There's no issue at all at that time of day. So I didn't have any problems here with this. Get my first Meyer order of the day. So 1175, 11.6 miles. It's again, I've had a couple orders like this the last couple days where it's like just outside of my zone, Grove City address, but just outside of the fringes of the zone. So this was all right. Here's my items. You see the one substitute had bagels again, but I was like, plain bagels. They should have that. Actually, that was a little tricky to find. On the shelf, you'd had all kinds of the cinnamon raisin bagels and the everything bagels and just plain old regular bagels. There was very few of them left on the shelf. That shelf space was kind of empty, so it took me a minute to see them. Um, and then pay screen for that, $8.75, and then $3 tip. So you see there, it took me 5 minutes 41 seconds to shop out of recommended 8 minutes 30 seconds. So I wonder why. Okay, so on that first screenshot, I hadn't clicked proceed to checkout yet. Okay, so it took me 2 seconds to click the button. So I deliver that. And next, a cringe-worthy Giant Eagle order. And I've talked about Giant Eagle and Aldi's before, so I was like, in 21 items, but I'm taking it. Today was a day where I'm feeling brave, and it's 14.75, so that's pretty good. Um, Considering I'm probably not going to get any catering orders with my standing the way it is now in the algorithm. So this is probably about the best I can do. The 21 items was scary. But I get there, and you see here on this screenshot, it was only 10 items to shop. So that worked out pretty good. 5 of these tuna packets. And you see here 4 of the Dunkin' Donuts. But that was one of the last things I looked for. I think it was the last item. And all they had of anything Dunkin' Donuts was just a creamer. And they didn't have the item or the substitute. I messaged the customer with a shelf picture. He was like, well, that's the creamers, though. You got to look like where the coffees are. And of course, I know that. And so I sent him a picture of the coffees. When I said no Dunkin' Donuts brand stuff. And he said, well, just get me one of the Starbucks vanilla lattes then. So that's what I got him. I did 4 jugs of water. It's kind of a heavy order. But still not too bad. Pay screen on that, $9.75 plus $5 tip. So look at that. It took me over 21 minutes to shop that. And I went over almost 2 minutes on that. But, what was the, let's see, deliver by 10:02, and I still delivered it like 20 minutes early, even with going over on the shopping a couple minutes. I still delivered 20 minutes early. So next, we got a Walgreens front end. These are the deliveries at Walgreens that I don't have to shop for. Um, and then I got the message that I had to scan the customer's ID. Like I said, I wish I could opt out of those. I wish I could opt out of any order whatsoever where you have to scan an ID. Um, but I don't know. But I go in there and it's you pick these up from the photo lab. It was a 12 pack of Sprite, and the restricted item was in a brown paper sack. So I couldn't tell what it was. I asked the clerk, I said, is this like alcohol or something? She said, well, it's medicine. So it's probably some kind of cough medicine or something. But usually it's weird because usually the cough medications are, you have to be 18, not 21. So that's why I was kind of curious what this was. But it could have been a prescription medication, so it's really none of my business. But so, and then I drive clear to Lockbourne, just to pick up $7.50. You know, it is what it is. Next offer. I was at home for this. I stopped home. I was able to talk to my wife for a few minutes, get a refill on my water, go to the bathroom, all the good stuff. And was actually, we were both about ready to leave anyway, the apartment, when I got this offer. And 1025, only 5 miles, and that's including my 3 mile drive to get to Meyer from home. So yeah, this is a great order. So I start heading there, and they stack it with an additional 1125, and this order as well is only 2 items. So, hey, and it is 6 miles north. This is going close to like Hilltop, but still, 2150 for 11 miles. That, to me, that's good. And I'm only shopping for 4 items. So yeah, I went ahead and took this. So here's the list. When I first opened this up and seen this, the customer B is what scared me. These cupcakes. Is this something that's just going to be like sitting out in the bakery, or was this something that somebody's going to have to help me with? It's behind the counter, or I don't know. So I was kind of nervous about that. So I went over to the bakery first, and fortunately they were just sitting out. So that was easy. Boom. And then I track across the store to HBC, get these other 2 items, no problem finding those, and then come back across to check out. And then let's see. So customer A delivered, that was the HBC stuff, delivered real close by, housing community, not, real close to Meyer. So 1025 for that. Great. Customer B was a nursing home that I've delivered to several times before. So really familiar with it when I pulled up on it, and I didn't even have to go all the way inside. The lady met me in between the double doors, and boom, easy delivery on that one. Piece of cake on this double Meyer. Next up was this $5 2.6 mile McDonald's. I'm on top of it. I think I had to wait a little bit in there for that order, if I'm not mistaken. A little bit of a wait time. You see 11:36. I mean, it was slammed in there, and both on the inside and outside the store. I was kind of thinking maybe for sure this would be a 10-minute drop, but I think it was only like 4 or 5 minutes, actually. It wasn't too long. So this worked out. Then I'm heading home at this point. I was close enough to goal. I wanted to go to the store to get something to eat, and then for later on tonight for dinner. And I figure I start making my way back home, unless I got an order. And this right here, you see this. I'm heading south here, so I'm like on my way to the Arby's when I get this offer. So and not even a mile for $5. So yeah, I'll take this. Again, another probably 5 to 6 minute wait in the Arby's, but not too bad. And just jog down the street a few blocks to that customer. It was easy. Then I get a dreaded Aldi's order. Cringe-worthy. Cringe-worthy. I'd already done the Giant Eagle. You serious right now? I get an Aldi's when I'm just trying to go home and end the day. I've had a good enough dash up to this point, but no, I got to get an Aldi's order. So I take it, okay, because $12, it's 14 items, but please, 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 DoorDash gods, let there be multiple items, and let it be like just 6 or 8 things to shop for. Please, multiples. And I figured, okay, I'm not gonna decline this. I'm gonna, try to pick up my AR. I'm going to put on my big boy pants and I'm going to attempt to do this Aldi's order. By the way, I would wear DoorDash pants if there was such a thing, or I might have to create my own DoorDash pants, that I wear on my dashes, along with the shirt and the hat, instead of big boy pants. But as it was, I put on my big boy pants. I went to Aldi's. Here's the list. So it's 9 items. Okay, so not too bad. A couple of these things, like the 2 Valentine's Day things, that kind of scared me. I just didn't. I haven't paid attention before. I didn't know Aldi's had seasonal type items, so that was kind of scary. Basically anything at all that I shop for in Aldi's is scary. And I got a couple examples here of what these are perfect examples. I should have shot like a little video, but I took pictures instead. Okay, so first is I had to get some Brussels sprouts. And I go over to the cold wall. There's a whole section, just like this right here, of where all the vegetables at. Okay, you got all your green beans, your corn, your cauliflower. It's all right there in this one tall section. Where are the Brussels sprouts? Am I missing something here? I mean, so I'm about to mark it as not available, and then I walk over to like the next section. This is not, to me, to my eyes, this is not a vegetable column section of the cold wall. This is tacos and burritos and chimichangas and when I don't know what. I can't even read without my glasses on. What are these things up at the top here? Pork egg rolls and pork, I don't know, pot stickers, I think is the other item. And then at the very bottom here, you've got 2 other vegetables that they couldn't have just put in like with all the other vegetables. So this is the zoning and where stuff is at, I should say, is why I have all these issues with Aldi's. And every time I go in there, I see all the other customers. Like I'm always walking around inside of Aldi's flustered, huffing and puffing, like looking around, trying to find stuff. And all the other customers, every single time I go in there, are just pushing their carts around, walking around like it's just some other grocery store and finding everything easy and having a good old, perfect shopping experience. And I'm the only one that has trouble shopping at Aldi's and, in the universe. I don't get it. Next, after the Brussels sprouts, the last items that I had to get was these. So I had 3 of these chicken salads with crackers and 3 tuna salads with crackers. And I go up and down the aisles at least like twice looking for this. I don't see anything that's even close to this. But I keep walking around the different aisles because I'm getting some of the other stuff at like the juice that you saw on the previous screen. And so as I'm walking around looking for these, I also got my eye out for the other stuff and I'm picking out the other stuff. I still can't find this. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This is almost as bad as the Brussels sprouts. Okay, so I had already been by here once or twice. Do you see my items here in this picture? Clear back in the back in these boxes. There's the chicken salads right here. No wonder I couldn't see. They're in the back. I had to stoop down, almost get out on my knees to see those back there. And then here's the tuna salad. See, okay, so you got these. This isn't the right brand. This is something else. This tuna salad in the front. There's my tuna salads, the blue boxes that somebody stuck this in front of it. So that's why I didn't see those blue boxes at first behind there. And it's just like, that's just... And there's probably been other times where I marked stuff as unavailable and it's really and truly been there, but I just can't find it because of, crap like this. It's just I could go on and on and on about Aldi's, or maybe it's just this location. I shouldn't hate on all Aldi's because I don't know. I never shop there, but for DoorDash, I only go into this location. So I can't speak for all the other locations. Drop a comment below if you're able to successfully navigate in Aldi's and find everything you need, because I can't. So here is, but I found everything, and then there was an ice cream that had to be substituted. Let's go ahead and minimize those. It's like some kind of like vegan ice cream or something like that, and I had to. I sent a message to the customer, and she, with a shelf picture, she didn't respond. So I had to call, just like, yesterday. But this customer answered the phone, and she said vanilla was fine. So that was the other substitution. Even these potatoes I had a little bit of trouble with. I found one bag of 5-pound potato. I don't even know if they were supposed to be in their own section, but this big, huge bin of 10-pound sacks, and I found one bag of 5-pound. And then I got lucky on the potatoes. Just unbelievable. So I ended, after I delivered that, I ended the dash, or I'm sorry, this is the pay screen for the Aldi's order. $7 and a $5 customer tip. And that was, and I already knew, As soon as I got that offer, I knew that that was going to be it for me. This was going to be challenging, and there's no way I'm doing any more orders after this. So I think before I even walked into the Aldi's store, I toggled over on the button, pause orders after delivery. Um, so I ended the dash. Um, so my dash time was 8 hours, 2 minutes. You see here active. The last couple days I was active less than 4 hours. Today I was active over 5 hours, 5 hours, 9 minutes. So I stayed busier. I did two more orders than the last couple days, where I did 10 each of those days. Today was 12. The pay is you got to also add in the $6 and change from the McDonald's closed orders. So the pay is actually $107.99 for today. Went over on mileage, but again, like yesterday, not too bad on 119 miles. So I was over, you might as well say I made $108. So 11 miles over on the mileage. That's not bad. My acceptance rate, I believe it was like 54% entering the dash. Like I said, I only declined one offer, took it up to 58%. Now at 2,550 all-time deliveries. The contract violation from a couple days ago, that got removed today after I got home after my dash. I got an email, and this is the first time. They must have just started doing this not too long ago, because I've never got an email before about the contract violations being removed. So it says, "Thank you for taking hi Joe, thank you for taking the time to provide additional information about your delivery from McDonald's on 128 that the customer reported as never having been delivered. Upon review, we have found that you did deliver the order. As such, this report has been removed from your account and will not count towards deactivation. Thank you for your patience while we review the details of this delivery." So thank you very much. And then those, okay, so the numbers that I mentioned, January numbers, now I can update the numbers with, of course, with today's stats as well. But so it was an off month for sure. I know I didn't dash a lot because of the overtime in my W-2, but it was still a pretty decent sample size. For the month of January, I dashed for 38 total hours. I did 64 deliveries this month, so way off from the 100 needed for top dasher. But my hourly rates took a hit. So whereas in 2023, my average for the whole year was 16.70 an hour total dash time. For January, it was only $12.63 an hour. So that's over a $4 an hour hit that I took this month. The active hourly rate didn't drop as much. It went from 2023, I averaged $25.39 an hour, and this month it dropped down to $22.58. So not quite $3 an hour drop on the active time. So I don't know. That's a good enough. That's not. I mean, I think it's a good enough sample size for the month. For me, cherry picking in this zone. January is a cold month. It should be a busy month. And I did not get very good offers, and I cherry picked and declined a lot, took the acceptance rate down. And I think there was an impact from that. So next month, I think I may return to even with the, like, coming up here in July, the lifetime top dasher status, I think I may still need to try to hover around that 70% to get, because I can be in those programs, but if there's other dashers, if I'm at like 25-30% and there's other dashers at 75-80% acceptance rate, well, they're going to offer those orders to them first before me, I would imagine. That's how it's supposed to work. So we'll see how it goes next month, but I may return to more of what I was doing before this month. So but we'll take it day by day, starting with tomorrow, and just kind of see how it goes. But anyway, that's it for today's dash. Hope it was informative and entertaining. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out my other videos here on the 50 Something Dasher YouTube channel. And until next time, thanks again for watching.